Now this week was supposed to be a terrifying ghost story, but how scary was it really? G'day Hoogans and welcome to a brand new episode of Who Review. I hope you guys enjoyed the brand new episode. I'm going to jump into this week's review immediately by saying I really enjoyed this week's episode. I loved the opening scene of this episode, and I loved how we were introduced to the Doctor and her fam in this episode, because it really took us into the vibe that this episode is going to be creepy. I really loved that Graham was trying to keep up and speak proper English. I thought that was quite funny. Yaz was discussing her love life with that woman. I don't remember her name. I honestly can't remember at all. And I'm just really hoping that she wasn't referring to the Doctor, and I'm hoping that she wasn't in love with the Doctor. That would be just such a stupid storyline to go down. We don't need another Martha 10th Doctor scenario. Graham and Ryan had some really great comedic moments in this episode, especially when Ryan was challenged to a duel. I'd go as far as saying that Graham and Ryan in this episode are one of the highlights for me. They were really great. I loved the Doctor not putting up with Lord Byron's flirting. I thought that was quite funny. She wasn't having any of it. And in this exact moment, my mind freaked out. The Cybermen are back, woohoo! At the start of the episode, when that light thing on the lake appeared, I didn't expect it to be a Cyberman. As the episode went on, I kind of began to figure that it would be. But I'm so happy. I didn't think they were going to come back until the finale. But I loved the Doctor's little speech about the Cybermen as well, and that she doesn't want to lose anybody else. I thought that was a really sweet moment. Now let's discuss the lone Cyberman. Oh, I'm so excited. The lone Cyberman was bloody awesome. I love seeing that this one Cyberman made the Cybermen such a threat again. One little downside that I didn't like was that this Cyberman, you could see the human features under the helmet. I didn't really like that, but then again, the conversion wasn't completed 100%. Although I did like that the Cybermen used the lightning as a way to recharge. I thought that was quite cool. This Cyberman was the most gruesome that the Cybermen have been in such a long time. Not just with the way it looked, but the way it talked as well was really dark, and I loved that. The ending with the Cybermen was a bit rushed, but I understand because that's not the end of the lone Cyberman. We're going to see him again in the next episode, and I presume in part 2. We'll have to wait and see. So that little ending with that Cyberman, I'm not disappointed about. So 3 things that I liked about this week's episode. Number 1, Graham and Ryan, especially Ryan. I thought that the comedic moments with these 2 characters this week were like hilarious. They were brilliant. Number 2, the return of the Cybermen. They are back. Yeah, I'm so excited. And number 3, the haunting. I love a good ghost story, and I think that although it was ghosts but wasn't ghosts, Doctor Who nailed the haunting side of this story. I think that was really great. And 3 things that I didn't like about this week's episode. I'm not gonna lie, there's only one thing that I really didn't like. And that one thing is the historic characters. I feel like they were really written kind of rubbish and weren't written that well. And so my rating for this week's episode of Doctor Who is an 8 out of 10. Look, this definitely wasn't the best episode of the series. It definitely wasn't the worst either. But this was a really enjoyable story, and I enjoyed watching this. So, next week's episode, part 1 of the series finale. I'm very excited for next week. From the trailer, it looks great. It looks like the Cybermen are back, and I'm hoping that Chibnall really keeps up the creepiness and the darkness that the Cybermen had in this episode. So I'm hoping that he doesn't make them into a gag and makes them dark and creepy and angry and ready for revenge. And I'm very excited for the Cybermen to come back. So there we go, Whovians. That is my review of this week's episode of Doctor Who. What did you guys think? What is your rating out of 10? As always, let me know in the comments down below. Don't forget, I have my main channel video coming out this Friday, and then another episode of Who Review next Monday. So I'll see you guys next time. Bye everyone.